Is that just a sample?
I had 21 and 31. So I don't know if I did tell her about that.
Lead.
Probably just I mean, he might be. Is he an ex-police officer?
I'm sorry?
Is that guy there, is he an ex-cop?
No, I think that's a short. Yeah, I think he'll get something.
Yeah, she said.
Get a number for me and I'll reach out to them. It depends on how bad of a meeting goes. I can go do it tonight. Yeah, I won't be able to do that till tomorrow. Check on that till tomorrow. So I have to send an email to DC to find that out. Or actually, I have to down there.
That might be a you thing.
I need to look at them and see if the classes are
I'm gonna wear my shorts and flip-flops until it's absolutely freezing outside.
Oh, me too. We're supposed to go down the city. It starts this weekend, but we're looking at the last 2 weekends.
You're gonna move, make it just much apart. Okay.
The October meeting of the Elmwood Place Village Council was called to order, 7:01. Roll call, please.
Mr. Holmes.
Here.
Mr. Messer.
Here.
Mrs. Beers.
Here.
Mr. Shuey.
Here.
Mr. Snelling.
Here.
Mrs. Swanson. Here.
Everybody raised for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All in favor of accepting the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting? Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Ms. Riley, can you read the clerk's report, please?
Clerk's report for September, the receipts for the month is $343,069. Payroll for September, $53,419. Expenditures for September, $193,299. The general fund balance is $231,877.
The mayor's court report. Total to the city, $5,436. Total to the state, $1,167. Total revenue, $6,645. At this time, we have a speaker from the health department concerning the lead initiative.
Hello, my name is Emily Wanzer and I'm with Hamilton County Public Health. And I'm here to talk today a little bit about our lead initiative. So I wanted to start off with a little bit of background about lead and why we care. So it's a naturally occurring element, but it is detrimental to children and people of all ages, but particularly children because they're young and most vulnerable and growing and developing. So it can cause delayed or slow growth and development in young children. And at high levels, it can affect the circulatory system, the brain and nervous system, and reproductive systems. Children are our primary target when we talk about lead poisoning prevention, because they're primarily poisoned through lead from lead-based paint in old homes, specifically lead dust. It's not necessarily eating paint chips that we all kind of think about, but it's lead dust in homes that as lead paint deteriorates, windows and doors open and close, things like that, it creates the dust and becomes part of the home environment. And through hand-to-mouth behavior, just young children being kids, putting things in their mouth, putting hands in their mouths, they ingest lead, and that's how they become lead poisoned. So our focus here today is to talk a little bit about the programming we have available and the funding we have available to help prevent lead poisoning in children. So Hamilton County Public Health has 2 lead hazard grant programs. One is through HUD, and one is through the Ohio Department of Health. And for both of those awards, Elmwood is a priority community for us. It's an area of high concern and an area with high need and a lot of old housing stock. So we're primarily looking at homes built before 1978 because that's when lead paint was banned. So Elmwood Place has a lot of homes built before 1978. And we want to work to get into this community so that we can assist through these lead grant programs. The basic requirements for these programs are the home has to be built before 1978. A child under the age of 6 has to live or spend time there, or a pregnant woman has to live there. We're also looking at mid to low income families. We're talking about families of 4 making under $81,000 a year. So those are our primary screening tools that we use when we look at our requirements for the grant program. It can be a rental unit or owner occupied, but we are looking at buildings with no more than 4 units per building. The other requirements are that the owner needs to promise to rent to low-income families for a period of 3 years after this. We don't want owners hiking rent because now they have a whole bunch of new windows and the house looks nice and new and shiny. And owners have to promise to live in their home for a 3-year period after this work has been completed. So overall, from HUD, we have $2 million. That was awarded in 2020, and that grant program ends in June of 2024. We are asking for an extension of an additional year, so we're planning on that funding to end June of 2025. And we also have an additional $1 million from the Ohio Department of Health, which will end June of 2025. So we have an abundance of funding, which we have never had before. This is the first time Hamilton County has had this funding available to community members and residents. And a lot of times we're reactive when a child has been poisoned, where we come into the home afterwards and we look at where the hazards are and then they have to be addressed. This is the first time we've been able to come in before a child has been exposed and prevent lead poisoning before it's even happened. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today and share that with everyone here, because this is, like I said, this funding is not going to be around forever. But we've never had more money and we've never had more availability to assist people in need. And we're really trying to get people on board and spread the news about this great opportunity. And so I appreciate your time and letting me talk about this for a moment. I have Alex with me, who has passed around flyers about the grant program about lead in general, which has our contact information on it. So please, even if you're not sure whether you qualify, we encourage everyone to give us a call, and we can talk through the qualifying steps. And if you're not sure, we will figure it out, but we would rather have a bunch of people apply that aren't qualified than people miss out when they are qualified. So I'm happy to take any questions, and if there's anything else that you'd like to know about the program or about lead in general.
Do we have to sign up for that, or is that just something where they just call you and set up an appointment?
You would have to sign up, so you'd have to give us a call, and we can get you through to our, we have a contractor who does our intake. So we would connect you to the contractor who does intake, and they would go through the screening with you and the application process.
Okay.
So unfortunately, it's not direct that everyone can jump right in. You do have to.
But that was something that each resident would do on their own instead
Yes.
of going through the village?
Yes.
And how long does that, testing process, if they were qualified, how would it be a week, or would it be a month, or the process?
The whole process from application to completion takes about 7 or 8 months. Because we do an entire process. We start with what's called a risk assessment, where we do an analysis of the entire home, top to bottom, and identify all of the lead paint hazards. We then write up the work specifications and write up what needs to be done to the home to make the home lead safe for young children. We bid the work out with contractors. The contractors give us their best bid. We select the best and lowest bid for the work to be done, and then we get on the contractor's schedule and of course some of this is weather dependent because it is exterior work, so sometimes it depends on the weather and what season it is, but we get on the contractor's schedule for the work to be completed. So overall, it's not the fastest program, but it's going to have significant long-term effects on the health and safety of the home.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Can I have a copy of that flyer so I can get it posted on the community page?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course, and something I forgot to mention, but is a great add-on, is that part of our HUD funding, we have Healthy Homes additional funding, so that if you're enrolled in our HUD grant program, we have additional funding to improve the health and safety of the home in ways other than just lead abatement. So that's adding handrails, making things safer and more comfortable. We're doing HVAC servicing on some of our units, things like that. So it's not just lead improvements that we're making, we're also finding ways that while we're in the home, we're making other improvements to the home. So that's an additional bonus to that program.
Now, on the requirements you mentioned about the kids 6 and under, is that kind of a hard and fast rule, or is that just one of the factors for qualifying?
That is a hard and fast requirement. but it can be a child that comes to visit more than 6 hours a week. So they don't have to necessarily live there, they can just come spend time there. So grandparents, daycares, things like that can definitely qualify if a child under the age of 6 comes to visit. So that is one of our, I mentioned those 3 requirements because those are kind of our hard and fast rules of it has to be built before 1978, it has to have a child either living there or visiting, or a pregnant woman, and then they do have to meet income requirements. So those are our 3 main requirements. But even visiting child will qualify.
Sounds good.
What did you say about a family of 4?
So for a family of 4, we are looking at income of $81,000 or less.
Okay.
Very nice. I'm sure that we will, well, the village will try to get that out to as many families as possible. It's definitely a benefit when we can help the low income, especially, families with young children.
Yes, absolutely. And it really makes significant improvements to the home. A lot of times it's window and door replacement, things like that. So things that improve the health and safety as well as the quality of home people are living in. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you coming out. Now we are doing consideration and passage of resolutions. We have one resolution. Ms. Riley, can you read that in title only, please?
Resolution 32-23, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Do we have a motion to move for adoption of this resolution?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
Thank you. And consideration and passage of ordinances. Ms. Riley, can you read the first ordinance in title only, please?
Will be ordinance 33-23. Ordinance notwithstanding Title 15, Chapter Section 154.01, permitting the location and operation of a warehouse and trucking terminal and a temporary gravel parking lot at the property located at 5601 Ellen Street and declaring an emergency.
Do we have a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings on 3 separate dates?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
Do we have a motion to move for adoption of this ordinance?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
And do we have a motion to move to adopt this as an emergency clause?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson?
Thank you. Ms. Riley, can you read the next ordinance entitled, please?
Ordinance 34-23, ordinance hiring Bryson Hill as a full-time police officer for the Village of Elmwood Place, Ohio, setting pay and declaring an emergency.
Do we have a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
Do we have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
And do we have a motion to adopt this as an emergency clause?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
Thank you. Officer Hill?
Raise your hand.
Podium, please. Podium,
Podium.
please. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Bryson Hill,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the laws and ordinances of Elmwood Place, Ohio,
and the laws and ordinances of Elmwood Place, Ohio,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties to the office
perform the duties to the office
which I have been appointed
which I have been appointed
to the Village of Elmwood Place, Ohio,
to the Village of Elmwood Place, Ohio,
to the best of my abilities and understandings,
to
so
the
help
best
me
of my
God.
abilities and understandings, so help me God. Thank you, sir.
Ms. Riley, can you read the next ordinance in title only, please?
Ordinance 35-23, ordinance hiring Cameron Wood as a full-time police officer for the Village of Elmwood Place, Ohio, setting pay and declaring an emergency.
Do we have a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
Do we have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
And do we have a motion to adopt this as emergency clause?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Spears?
Yes.
Shuey?
Yes.
Snelling?
Yes.
Swanson? Yes.
Thank you. Cameron? Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Cameron Wood,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the laws and ordinances of Elmwood Place, Ohio,
and the laws and ordinances of Elmwood, Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
perform the duties of the office
perform the duties of the office
to which I've been hired
to which I've been hired
for the village of Elmwood Place, Ohio,
for the village of Elmwood Place, Ohio,
to the best of my abilities and understandings, so help me God.
to the abilities of my understanding, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
Ms. Riley, can you read the next ordinance in title only, please?
Ordinance 36 dated 23, an ordinance authorizing and directing the clerk treasurer to provide additional appropriations for the 2023 appropriations and declaring an emergency.
Do we have a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes,
Yes.
Messer,
Yes.
Spears,
Yes.
Shuey, Snelling,
Yes.
Swanson, yes.
Do we have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Holmes,
Yes.
Messer,
Yes.
Spears,
Yes.
Shuey, Snelling,
Yes.
Swanson, yes.
And do we have a motion to adopt this ordinance as an emergency?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Holmes,
Yes.
Messer,
Yes.
Spears,
Yes.
Shuey, Snelling,
Yes.
Swanson, yes.
And we have our committee reports. Police report, please.
I don't have anything to Randy. Talk about our new officers.
We're welcoming 2 new officers tonight, which is good. That puts us full staff.
Round of applause for that.
We had 433 radio runs last month, which is a lot, so more than it was the month before. This guy right here, this is your code enforcement guy, it's Paul Brinkman. I don't know if everybody's met him yet. He handed me his report, and he had 25 notices of violations that were issued, 14 code violations that went into compliance after the notification. We did have to issue 1 citation, and we're working on 2 to be demolished or condemned and demolished. And we had 5, he had 5 different properties that we had to, the village had to go out and actually maintain the yard because the yard was in such bad shape. But it's working, it's happening. I mean, it's you know, it's a lot of work. He's working hard at it, so
Absolutely.
that's good. And Sheila and I have been working on the body cam grant, and it has been a mess, and thank God for her. So thank you, Sheila. And I just want her recognized for that, because
Absolutely.
it's been a lot of work.
She
And
does.
it's a body cam.
Just to get body
Body cam.
worn cameras for the officers. There was a grant released in Ohio, and we have it's been a lot of paperwork with it. So now we're just waiting. It's been submitted, so we'll wait and see how it goes.
Absolutely.
Because we need them.
But Sheila she holds this
Oh,
place
and
together.
your meet and greet was good. We had a fine time there. Met a lot of nice people. Met Tim over there. He's nice. He's a nice fellow. I met two other guys, the policemen here back in the day. Nice day.
Awesome.
Nice day. Thank you for that, whoever. This is spirit.
Thank you. The finance?
I think you reported.
Laws and contracts.
Don't have anything for this time.
Parks and Rec.
As Chief said, we did have a pretty decent turnout for our meet and greet, and I appreciate everyone that was able to make it. I wish there would have been more people, as always. I expect large crowds, but I know baby steps. But everybody seemed to have a really good time. We got to meet everybody. We had thank you to everyone that helped out. Thank you to Joycelyn and Jeff Jones, who did the cooking for the hot dogs. They did the free hot dogs and the chips, and we had cookies and water, and it was a really nice couple hours to meet and talk with everybody. Second up, Halloween's coming up, so that will be Tuesday the 31st. We will have trick-or-treating from 6 to 8 p.m. We will have a parade. Lineup will be, as usual, at the corner of Highland and Walnut at the parking lot. They will do a parade. We will line up at 5:15. The parade will start at 5:30. They will come, what, one block or two? How do we do it?
Yes.
Usually 1 or 2 blocks over, and then come up to Vine Street, and then we will disperse. We're gonna move over here this year.
Yes.
I was thinking of this year, instead of meeting right here, because we're hid behind in the parking lot, that we meet end up over there on Maple Street, and then we'll disperse from the front schoolyard there of the elementary building. We will have our costume contests and things like that, and then we will be finished right at 6 to disperse for trick-or-treating at that point. So please pass that word along. I will be posting that out on the website as soon as the meeting is over with tonight.
Fire and EMS. Chief, do you have anything?
Chief.
I'm sorry. I'm making notes here. Nothing too much, just 38 EMS calls for last month. We had 12 fire or engine runs, which our engine runs, that's quite an uptick. Other than that, that's about it.
Is our squad fixed?
Yeah.
12 fire runs.
Oh.
Awesome. Thank you, Chief. And health and public safety.
Looks like there's a 2-day drop-off point for household hazardous products. Friday, October 20th, Saturday, October 21st. The 2 locations for the household hazard products is Hamilton County Recycling Resources and Hamilton County Agricultural Society. We will get this posted up on the community page, so if you got any questions or you need to see it, it'll be up there also. That's all I got.
And any closing comments by council?
So last time we were talking about getting the council meetings not just online but back on television, and we were able to get those back on ICRC. Since then, we confirmed the stations and the times. This was posted on our Facebook, but I just want to make sure everybody that wants to watch it, you know, the old-fashioned way on TV can do so. So they stated that they provided channels and times. If you are on, let's see, it's channel 8 for Charter and Spectrum users, and channel 827 and 838 for Alta Fiber. The days for the council meetings are, the rebroadcasts are Fridays at 10 p.m., Sundays at 7:30 p.m., and then Tuesdays again at 8 a.m. in the morning. Also, one of the kind of the unintended consequences is that the executive director of ICRC, once we got all this set back up, he called me back and he said, you know, we don't have anyone from the village representing the village on our board, so he actually invited us in the village to be part of that now. So I plan to start going to their quarterly meetings and just kind of trying to be plugged into ways that we can improve communications with the village, get out more what we're doing. So when we have like a thing like a meet and greet or just anything, just raise awareness. And so I'm going to be running that down and seeing what I can do to try to find some other avenues and just trying to keep up on it. So that'll be our next step. And once we have our first quarterly meeting, I'll kind of report what I learned. So.
Thank you.
Good. Congratulations, board members.
So November's council meeting date is actually election day, so we will need to reschedule our November meeting. I was thinking moving it from Tuesday to Thursday, November 9th, if that's not too much of a conflict with anyone's schedule.
I mean, that's fine with me.
Okay. So the November council meeting will be rescheduled for 7 p.m. November 9th. That's a Thursday. Officer Christensen, can you hand me that paper on the podium, please? It's a sign-in sheet. Thank you, sir. We have 2 people signed in to speak with public participation. Ms. Turner?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I'm here tonight to present an issue that I have very high concerns about. I think everybody knows it. We've got some issues with some homeless people that are living down near the railroad tracks.
Unfortunately, I do know what you're talking about. That is the city of Cincinnati.
The whole thing?
Where they're living at is down by the pump house, which is actually outside of
Elmwood limits?
Elmwood Place, village limits.
Okay. Well, the reasons that I do have concerns with it, even though you just stated that it's a kind of a problem for the city of Cincinnati. I had an incident happened roughly about a week and a half ago where something was taken out of my yard, okay? I confronted this individual. That was after someone kind of gave me some inside information. So when I seen this individual, who I do believe is homeless, confronted him and asked if he knew anything that was about missing out of my yard. Of course, he denied it. He said no. And I said, well, okay, if I catch anybody in my yard or taking anything out of my yard, I'm calling the police, whether it be the city or be Elmwood. Makes no difference to me, okay?
Absolutely.
So, no more than 20 minutes, he left, and that was the end of that. But no more than 20 minutes, he returned. And when he did, he returned the item that he personally took out of my yard. And then made an apology. He meant to return it. He said that he needed a light to get across the railroad tracks. He did not have his cell phone at the time. That's why he helped himself to my personal property to see his way. I got lucky, he returned it, okay?
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, that's great. Point in case is though, next time I may not be so lucky. Next time it may be something a little bit more serious. I don't know that. I'm hoping that it's not, okay? But point in case is, I guess there's nothing that Elmwood can do as far as...
Anytime someone takes something from your property, you should file a police report.
Okay.
That's a village issue. The homeless issue is not our is unfortunately, you know, as much as we care about our homeless, which we do have several in the village.
Okay.
The people living across the tracks, the homelessness is not something we can do anything about, but anything pertaining to that, if they're stealing from your yards or whatever, that you do need to file a police report on, because that is an issue that's a village issue.
And even though you stated that it's kind of a problem for the city of Cincinnati, does anybody care at all, Elmwood, city of Cincinnati, when they build these fires? They're literally building fires, and when they do, that smoke has got to go somewhere. So, pretty much, I mean, I don't stay outside too much towards the evening, but, you know, if I would like to step out on my front porch or whatever, and at any given time that there could be, that they're building a fire, because the heaviest spot is right down there by the stop sign, where 63rd and McGregor starts, if you're going into Elmwood, or the other way into Rosewood. Okay, so however, but it's, the presence of the smoke is real heavy. And, you know, other than I don't like that ideal, it's definitely a concern, especially with all of our dry weather that we've had all summer long, with very or no little rain. And we're still encountering some of that, not getting the you know, from the rain. And you want to go build these fires, and you know,
It is a concern.
so does nobody, not to say that Elmwood should take responsibility, the city of Cincinnati should take responsibility. How do you resolve that? How do you resolve when you know that fires are being built, and God only knows, it could get out of control or,
I mean,
or whatever.
If you know a fire is being built down there, you can always call the city of Cincinnati, and they will send a fire company to respond.
Okay.
I'm not sure what they'll do about it, but it is a concern, because you're right. It is a lot of dry weather here lately, and it very easily could get out of control. So it is a concern. If you know someone's building a fire down there, if you call the city of Cincinnati, they will send the fire
They will
company.
respond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how do you go about doing that if it comes to a point where that would need to, just call the 911 and tell them you want to report
Yeah,
that there's a fire?
a fire across the railroad tracks down by the Mill Creek by the pump house.
Okay.
They've been called there before. It wouldn't be the first time they've responded.
Okay, but other than that, that's kind of where that all ends, and,
Yes, ma'am.
and everything else. Well, like I said, I myself, I'm going to count my blessings that I got my item returned to me, even with an apology. But, you know, it's only opened up my eyes even wider to pay attention and to see what's going on.
Yes,
And if I feel that at any given time that there's anything that's a threat to me, or that I have high concerns, call the Elmwood Police Department. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And someone will respond, and I can address what the issue may be, if it's anything or whatever.
And do you have the non-emergency number? That if you don't need 911, you have the regular?
I have, if I may get another one, I do believe I have one,
Yes,
just to be on the safe side for that. But, you know, I'm just hoping, especially with the hour, you know, the daylight savings time ready to come to an end, we still got another good month. It's going to start getting colder. You know, and do you think, maybe it is, I'll address this to the police chief, that maybe perhaps, once again, Oak Street down by my area can be periodically checked?
Yeah.
With doing,
Yeah.
you know, cruising by, kind of checking it out and see. Not that that's not what's being done, it's just that I haven't quite noticed it. You used to see it quite frequently, but now I don't see it as much as what I thought, you know,
I think that part
could
of.
be there.
Of what
And being that you're aware of this situation now, with fires coming onto private property, trespassing, if you will, and removing things, you know, that they have no business with.
I know, it's a problem. We were having a problem with them up on Vine Street. A lot of it, in the wintertime, there were a lot of homeless people just lingering around up on Vine, and we're trying to keep them moving. Now it seems like they've all taken refuge down next to the Mill Creek, basically, and they're got camps all the way from 63rd all the way up to Seymour Avenue, and even underneath the overpass up there. And I know I was in contact, I spoke to the mayor about this the other day, because I was approached by a man that lives down there, that lives in the city of Cincinnati, wanting to know if we could help them out, because they're not getting a lot of cooperation from the city of Cincinnati. Now he spoke to the, they have a community officer assigned to that area down there, and that officer told them it would probably be best for him to call us, because they have restrictions on if their officers can walk down hills and cross railroad tracks and things like that, because it is on the other side of the railroad tracks. It starts at the pump house and goes all the way down to the water, and like I said, then it runs north all the way down to Seymour Avenue. So, and I think the young man that you were speaking of, we actually, he finally, after the last time we took him down to the Tri-Health, he has actually been committed up into the Summit Behavioral place. So hopefully, he has more than just a homeless issue, which most of them do. He's got also mental health issues, and he's very respectable when you talk to him, but he still does bad things. So this time they kept him. So that's why we haven't seen him around on your street at all in a while.
Okay, maybe that may be the case. I mean, I just saw this individual just yesterday.
Well, maybe a different guy then. Yeah. Right. We have quite a few of them walking around. Okay.
Well, anyways, do you
Yeah,
know?
we'll keep it on that.
You know, can it get patrolled a little, you know, I mean, once again, I think I've always made that clear. I'm not the only person that lives in Elmwood. Oak Street is not the only street that you need to pay attention to. Elmwood, you know, it's got a lot of streets, and everybody's got concerns, you know, but I'm just saying, as we're kind of going through this, what I'm trying to tell you is I think I'd feel a little safer. Okay. Even though I do have my home secured, you know, but even though I go through all the hoops that I go to keep myself safe, because I do live alone, to keep myself safe, take all the precautions that I can to protect myself and my property. You know, I know there's still no guarantees, but you just...
If you ever have a question, call us. We'll come right out. Come right to you.
Which I still believe I have your number.
You do.
Okay.
I'm sure you do.
And that we can do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give it to him.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And one other person on our list, Angie West.
Is there any way I can go after they do their presentation, because whether or not I need to talk may depend on what they say in their presentation, because it's referenced that.
Okay. And Kim Durham, single, has a presentation to make concerning a proposal and interest in 318 Maple Street.
Ms. Gates?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thanks for giving us this time, guys. I know you're all busy and everybody's got stuff going on, but for the lady that just spoke, the Bible says we have the poor with us always. So, my name is Kay Durham. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. I've been here since the 5th grade, about 60 years. My daughter, Kim Siegel, I'll read her story now. My name is Kim Durham Siegel. I'm a resident of St. Bernard, Ohio. I was born and raised in Elmwood Place. Went to Elmwood Elementary and graduated from St. Bernard High School. I received a 2-year certificate in early childhood learning at Scarlet Oaks Vocational School during my senior year. I married my husband, Bill Siegel Jr. in 1987, also a lifelong resident of Elmwood Place. During our first 16 years of marriage, we resided in Elmwood Place, and as our family grew with 6 children and 5 grandchildren, we found a bigger home in St. Bernard, where we've been for the last 20. However, we have plans to move back into the village, where my heart has always been. Our families for many years were very involved in Elmwood Place. My father-in-law, William Siegel Jr. William Siegel Sr. was the fire chief for many years before his passing. My husband was also a firefighter for many years, as well as a dispatch for the village of Elmwood Place. My parents, Dennis and Kay Durham, were also involved in the community many years ago. My dad ran the pool and park, was a member of the recreation department. My mom was on board of PTA and helped with the village activities. My parents have both retired from St. Bernard Elmwood School District and still resides in the village of Elmwood Place. Several family members have had businesses in Elmwood, including my Aunt Sandy, who's now helping us in a huge part with our Deanie Joe's Closet. My brother Chris Durham and I have so many great memories growing up in Elmwood. Movie nights in the park, playing ball, and living 3 doors down from the pool made it a fun summer. My love for Elmwood Place has never left. My prayer and proposal to the village of Elmwood Place is to give back to the community. I would like to do this by continuing Deanie Joe's Closet, which is in memory of my Graham and sister-in-law. They had so many beautiful things when they left us that I'd like to share them with others. After much prayer and sleepless nights, I've talked with my family, my pastor, and we've decided to use the basement of our church, Carthage Baptist on Seymour. Our first night we opened on September 5th of 2023 from 4 to 7. The turnout was wonderful. We had 50 to 80 people. Pizza Hut and La Rosa's donated food for everyone. We've continued to open up there twice a week. The outpouring of donations of clothing, shoes, coats, household, and personal items have been amazing. We've outgrown our church basement, and that's a good thing, but we're in dire need of a location at this time. Our prayer is for a building in the village of Elmwood Place. It would be so good for the families to be able to walk to the closet and get things they need. I considered, if we realized, we would also want to help the senior citizens. The seniors, I feel like in this village, I'm a senior now, my husband's a senior. I would love for the seniors to get involved with us, to have things for them on a monthly basis, have them come and help fold clothes and greet people and get the youth off the street and try to do, we can't save the world, but we can do a little bit, and every little bit helps. So this is my daughter's closing remark. It is my heart's desire to keep the doors open and welcome those in need at Deanie Joe's Closet. With a sincere heart of gratitude, I appreciate your consideration in helping me with this mission. Thank you sincerely, Kim Durham Siegel. Proverbs 28:27 says, "He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse." Pray about the decisions, mayor, council member, the church. We can't stay in the church. We had to move out this past weekend because there was a big wedding up there. Stuff's in the classrooms. It's overflowing everywhere. So you're welcome to come up and visit the church and see what we've got there. We would love to have you come and see for yourselves. This is a great need. We've got flyers printed up. My daughter printed up shirts. I can just tell you this, she has always had a heart for kids, adults, the hungry and the homeless, the guy that's stealing a light, for God's sake, to find his way across the tracks to home. So I kind of blame her dad a little bit. When she was little, she wanted to take a whole bunch of dolls to Walmart, Kmart, the grocery store. He let her take one doll. And ever since then, Kim's had this heart's desire, putting kidding aside. I am so proud of my daughter. And I want to thank Sheila Thank you so much. Sheila has been amazing when Kim come up just saying, Sheila, we've got this project going. Is there any way we could try to open up or try to get something going? She told Kim how to submit a letter to you all, and she's just been so positive in helping to get things going. So please pray about this. And we would like your input and your help. We can't do it by ourselves. So with that said, I'll sit down, and again, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Carroll.
you.
My questions with the Dee Dee Joe's Closet and using the building across the street. The last people that had the building across the street, the daycare that was in it, as you're making your decision, keep in mind, any bills that aren't paid, water, utilities, anything like that, the village is gonna end up having to pay them if they're not able to pay any of them. If they don't pay rent, and you guys have a lease with them, you guys have to go through the court system to evict them, just like they did the last people that they rented to. After the fiasco with the last person that they rented to, the village swore up and down they would never ever become landlords again for anybody on any property because of everything that they had to go through when that all fell apart over there. Also, I'm kind of curious who's gonna pay for fixing that whole building up, because all the damage and everything that's inside and everything that would need to be fixed up before they could even step foot in that building you're talking thousands of dollars worth of things that have to be done to it just to bring part of the building up into being able to be usable. I also heard that part of the project that they had was bringing homeless people into the village, eventually making it so that homeless people could come in and take showers in the building, which then in turn will cause more homeless people to loiter in our village. And as Martha said, we've already got plenty of them along the railroad tracks and up in Carthage, and we're surrounded by them. Do we really want to encourage them to come into our community? That's the big problems that I have with it, that I see need to be hashed out before any decisions are made. And if you guys do decide to go into a lease, you need to make sure that the lease is solid clad on A, B, C is what they're allowed to do, and they are not allowed to do anything else. I honestly really would hate to see people come in, the homeless population come in and hang out here in front of the town hall while because they're going over there to take their showers every day and stuff, or however often they have that open for that. That's all.
I would like to respond to that if I can. We are not bringing people in Elmwood that are homeless. They're here in Elmwood that are homeless. We don't know that. We all go home and we take a bath at home. We shower at home. We eat at home. They don't have that. We are willing to let them shower if they need to shower. Some of them, my daughter and I, we go down Vine Street every night from Elmwood to Carthage, and we feed them. We've had several donations from Panera to UDFs that we just go ourselves at 8 or 9 at night and we pick up, and we literally drive down the street with water, donuts, or hot dogs that we make on our own. They're not in Elmwood. They're in Elmwood. I hear several of their stories. I've asked them if I could hear their story. They're all willing to tell me. They were like you and I. A lot of them had jobs, went to prison, child support. Some of them you get to know, and it's just like, wow, we all have a story. And we never know, and it's not like because we bring that you're gonna end up getting, it's not contagious. We've had several people say to us as far as electric, once again, I give that to God. I felt like when I started this mission 2 months ago, there's been nothing but green lights. I've had people calling me, tons of donations. Tonight I posted on Facebook just half of the pictures. My daughter's house is full, our house, my parents, the garage. We've had people tell us they would help with the electric bill, and I just feel like if we go with this, that's all, I don't have to worry about that. I would never stick the village. I would never, not pay something that we had to pay if something didn't work, and Ron or the council would come to us I'm just asking for a chance, a year, just a chance to let me see how this works, to get the senior citizens involved. Not saying nothing, will never happen, or somebody over there homeless might be sleeping on the steps. We are willing, there's enough of us, just half are here. Tons of us that are gonna, make sure it's safe. We're gonna be in and out if I get a call at 2 in the morning, somebody needs a coat, I'm gonna go do that, me or my daughter, or my parents, or Sandy, or Marlene, or, I'm just asking for a chance. It is real. The news had it on the other day about all the homeless people with families, kids at Elmwood School. People doesn't even know things we've heard, even at Elmwood School, that they're homeless sleeping in a car. I'm just asking for a chance and to show that this can work. It's not gonna be just some, we plan on painting, cleaning, doing whatever we need to do. That's all I'm asking. I'd like a chance.
I'd like to say, in second to that, what she said too, we've had Siegel Roofing, the businesses, the name has been in Elmwood Place for, 40 to 50 years. And between me and my brothers and my cousins, from the floor to the roof, is all work that we do. So, if it's electrical or plumbing, something that we would bid out, obviously. But a lot of the other stuff when it comes to remodeling and renovating is stuff that we can do with our own hands. So it shouldn't be too much contracted out.
Just to address her concern of who's gonna pay for the repairs, I believe that the village had applied for a grant through Hamilton County, and I believe that grant has been approved for $35,000 to do the repairs on the building, if there is any repairs that need to be done. Also, just to let you guys know, you won't be responsible for any of the water or the utilities. Our church has actually stepped up and said they would take care of the utility bills for us. So we don't have to worry about that.
Yes, ma'am.
And as you can all see, all these people that's concerned are lived in Elmwood, grew up in Elmwood. Even though we've moved away, our concern is still in Elmwood Place. And to me, to get something like this started, not only for the homeless, but I've seen kids out there, they don't have school stuff, they don't have clothes. The donations we have had has been so outpouring. They're like, this is the greatest thing that ever happened. Kim's passion to do this is just unbelievable, and all the people that have stepped in to help. And like they said, we don't expect the village to pay the gas and electric or anything like that. We're all there to help out. But everybody here has had businesses in Elmwood. Kim's desire is to move back into Elmwood, out of St. Bernard and back in here to do something. It's like, it's gotta start somewhere. The seniors, if we have 1 month for seniors to get out and come and play bingo, make a blanket, whatever, get the kids off the street. Divide kids in groups, and whoever cleans the best block in Elmwood gets a free pizza and pop tonight. Get the kids involved in something. They have nothing to do in Elmwood. So here's somebody that's trying to come up with this, and I can't imagine people not wanting to see that. It may be a start of bringing other businesses in Elmwood, and it's not only for the homeless.
Right.
Who knows, my shop might be back in Elmwood.
We're trying to get things done for the kids too, Sandy. It's just the small baby steps.
Yeah.
But if I can say something for both of these guys, this is not a decision that we can just make overnight. This is a process that we have to work to speak with each other and talk it out and look at the pros and the cons, and we may have questions for you, we may have concerns for us, and we're not going to get an answer right now tonight. On my part, I'm sorry.
We didn't expect an
Okay.
answer tonight.
But I'm
I know
just
there's
wanna-
a process that you
Right.
have to go through, there has to be an ordinance drawn up.
Right.
We totally understand that. Just wanted to bring, to the attention and just
Right.
ask, That's up to you guys, what you want.
Right, and maybe we may need to have like a meeting, a community meeting on just concerns, or they could bring questions and like write them out and bring them to us to bring to you guys.
We're
that
open.
You guys may answer that we can't answer for you.
We're open to
So.
anything. If you wanna have a community meeting one night and have us come in and speak to the community that shows up.
Yeah.
And explain exactly what's going on there. If
Right.
they have any concerns, we can address those.
Right,
at that
because they
time.
may not understand where, we've heard
Right,
this
right,
view,
I
so yeah.
understand.
Okay,
Can I just ask a real another quick question?
Yeah.
Does something like that happen, like, I live, like, we need to stop doing this now at my church, so does something like this take years or a month, or, I mean, can we know if we could use
It'll
an
not
empty
take,
building and
it'll
how
not
much
take
it
years,
is?
but we do need to, you know, address concerns and talk this over amongst ourselves to, you know, so years, no. Will it be today, tomorrow? No, but we will address it as quickly as possible. Mr. Logan can understand that the way things turn, he came to us with a need, and it's not a fast process. But we will, you know, we'll work as quickly as possible to get an answer, and that way we can.
Is there an expiration date on the grant that's been funded to Elmwood?
It's not been approved yet. We get to hear the final thing on October 16th.
Yeah, so.
So will they know that there is that a group of people is trying to do something good in the village, that we could possibly use some of the funds?
She's right. She works for the people who I put the grant in with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the grant will be reviewed by a panel and scored, and then the grant is open to everyone in the county, so, you know, all jurisdictions have the chance to apply for the money. So it'll be scored on, you know, a whole rubric, and then it'll go up to the health commissioner, and they kind of have the final say on what it does.
Is there more than one grant available, or is it just one?
There's more than one.
Usually they have a certain timeline to say when the grant is due.
Yeah, the October 16th is when everyone's due back.
You said October 16th is the deadline?
That's when, yeah, you guys will hear back about whether
Okay.
it's been funded or not, or if it needs special conditions, all those things.
Okay, I'm writing this stuff down.
So if there is nothing else, do we?
I may have one comment, just one thing, I'm sorry.
You're fine, Bill.
Even if the grant doesn't come through to the Village of Elmwood Place, we would like your consideration in allowing us to use that. Elmwood Place would not be responsible for anything that has to be done to that building. Like my son said, we're jack of all trades. We may not be masters of none, but we know a little bit, okay? So I've already had several people tell me, let me know when you get the approval and you want to start paying. I mean, I know probably people don't want to hear this, but we have backing from a local motorcycle gang that said their whole group will be here and we'll have that building painted within a day. So if the grant doesn't go through, I don't want you guys to say, okay, we can't do that.
Right. And I'm sure they would appreciate being called a bike club.
A bike club, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A bike club.
They are bikes,
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
To the new officers, if you'd like to introduce yourself to some of the people around, we also have some paperwork that we need to sign.